Acting is a respected art in the entertainment department. Whether voice or physical, at any rate it's a very important thing when bringing a story to life. Crying on command to get a tear out of the audience, or being really awkward to make them cringe in a good way. Hugging, fighting, they do so much work to immerse you in a narrative, and this can be difficult when adapting superheroes because sometimes the flips and tricks are a bit too difficult and dangerous for the actor to do, which is why we have stunt doubles. They fall, jump off buildings, and get crushed by cars, and hit by trucks. They're here to do the dangerous cool shit so the actors don't actually die. But sometimes the budget can't afford stunt doubles. Sometimes actors are injured, causing them to lack a presence in the series for prolonged amounts of time. And since this Japanese tokusatsu franchise had the budget of a sitcom, their actors had to perform their own stunts. The actor Hiroshi Fujikawa, who portrays Kamen Rider's beloved Takashi Hongo. Wait, that's not Hiroshi? But it looks just like him. Racist? I'm racist? Was injured on set when riding his motorcycle, shattering his leg and keeping him from playing Hongo for a while. If you don't know what Kamen Rider is, it's about a karate bug cyborg who does a cool kick to kill bad guys. He faces the evil corporation that's clearly inspired by human history. They sell the figurine in the pose. What the fuck, you want your baby putting this shit on? Hell. Called Shoka, or Shocker if you're lame. He's a cheesy superhero at heart, but it's a lovable story with fun characters and energy that never gets old. Hiroshi being out of the studio temporarily meant that Hongo wouldn't be in the show for a while, and ratings were not going to be merciful when their beloved child just wasn't present, so directors had to do something. Make the show about Ruriko until Hongo comes back. Hayato Ichimonji is the second writer, who is introduced as a replacement for Hongo. He had a brighter suit and a younger, more relatable and upbeat personality compared to Hongo. This is reflected in the movie Shin Kamen Rider, which is the incarnation I wanted to talk about in this video. It is a very compact movie and not the best thing to come from Anno, but I liked it, and opinions are subjective. Also, this is the same Hideki Anno you're thinking of, you know, the writer of Shin Kajiro. If you're a fan of both Kamen Rider and Hideki Anno's works, watching Shin Kamen Rider, you can see how Anno's writing and directing are still as emotional and serious as always, but he mixes it with the staple over-the-top choreography of OG Kamen Rider, even paying homage to iconic scenes, and I think it works personally. It's a little Metal Gear-ish, but the tonal whiplash isn't there, even though Metal Gear's tonal whiplash is on purpose, because Kojima's insane.
What the?
You're a man?
Great, well, I'm off to go kill myself.
I can laugh at how goofy the flips and spins are, and my outer Kamen Rider fangirl loves and pops off at the Rider kick, but I can also watch and feel what Hongo feels when he loses Ruriko, or when Hayato loses Hongo. But my favorite homage, or rather reference, is something I found really smart and funny. Remember when I said that Hiroshi broke his leg? Well, in Shin Kamen Rider, as I guess a reference to this, Hongo and Ichimonji fight. Ichimonji during the fight breaks Hongo's fucking leg. Like it's just a shoe on backwards, but it looks so fucked for some reason. Ichimonji's character is so interesting to me because he gets half of the movie, but ends up being probably the most important character in it. After his fight with Hongo, he's brought to tears when Ruriko overrides Shocker's mind control. Ruriko says to stay strong amidst waves of sadness. Then he locks the fuck in and kills Rider Chameleon with the iconic Rider kick. Speaking of Rider kicks, that shit was so hard. Like, the cinematography of a modern action movie mixed with the original Rider kick. It's perfect? It's perfect. He then just leaves. Of course, this is after watching Ruriko die before Hongo's very eyes, but it's more important that he kind of just fucks off. After Hongo watches Ruriko's tape, he meets up with Ichimonji. He says he's gonna go after Shocker, and then asks Ichimonji what he's gonna do.
Ichimonji-kun wa dou suru? Motomoto pen to shutter ga ore no senmon nan da. Shinjitsu no kenってやつで人間の悪を暴きたくてね。だからこの力は好きだ。俺は好きに生きたい。好きかどうかが俺の行動基準だからな。あんたのことは嫌いじゃないが、あんたの後ろにいる連中に利用されるのは好きじゃない。俺は群れるのが嫌いだ。だからショッカーと戦うのは一人がいい。
And then again, fucks off. It's so cold, the way he goes about it. It's like he doesn't care that Hongo just watched someone important to him die. And he definitely does. The scene starts with him apologizing. It's just clear that above feeling bad for Hongo, he'd rather be away from all this and on his own. But I really like this because later when Hongo's fighting the Grasshopper Ogs, like, he's getting jumped and scrambled. This is Grasshopper on Grasshopper violence. They got him in the circle. He's in the fucking circle. Ichimonji comes to save him. They both do the cool thing like they're about to do something they spent an afternoon getting right, and it's the double rider kick, like they're best friends or something. And they do the thing again when they fight Ichiro. It's like by both being these kidnapped, now escaped bug cyborgs, they've already built a bond just by knowing they're the only two who aren't using this power for evil. The fight does end up turning into an awkward, almost non-choreographed feeling fight, which I'm mixed about because I want to see something cool, but they're all mangled and tired. Why would they have the energy? Hongo then sacrifices himself. He dies, like he's actually gone. And what hits even harder is the way Ichimonji screams out, looking for Hongo after he turns into the series staple phone. But then goes,
また一人かよ。
and the way he says it, it's like he's more butthurt than sad. Like he's already trying to disconnect himself from whatever bond he might have felt with Hongo so that he doesn't feel as lonely when he goes back to solitude. Externally, he's rather level-headed, but doesn't want to show the fact that he's very lonely. This might be reflecting original Kamen Rider's writing with Hongo. There was a scene that ended up being a little problematic in the office when it was shot. Hongo, the strong superhero Kamen Rider, was seen being gentle and kind with puppies, and to show a moment of weakness in our hero, he asked them, "Are you as lonely as I am?" Or roughly along those lines. And the MBS bureau director hated this. They didn't want Kamen Rider to look weak or emotional. Heroes aren't supposed to struggle or have feelings. Sentimentality in Batman, unheard of. You take a superhero and everybody loves you. Then you make it cry, and society calls you gay. Funnily enough, after being told how important this scene actually is, the director let it through, and then the audio was completely inaudible anyway. But that's totally fine because the imagery of Hongo holding puppies was enough to get the message through. But whenever I make that speculation, in my head I go, you're probably wrong and taking his tone way too seriously. But then in the next scene, he is disconnecting himself, or at least he's getting ready to, but the Rider FBI comes to deliver him a mask. His new connection to Hongo. Hongo actually requested that this mask hold his prana, or in other words, his very soul is inside that mask. Because if he died, he wanted Ichimonji to keep calling himself Kamen Rider and fight for good. Throughout Hayato's screen time, he's gone from mind-controlled to dreadful to then dismissive, and right afterwards helpful, and finally, once again, alone. But once he's told all that about the mask holding Hongo's soul, there's not a lot of scenes that get me every time. I think everyone's probably that way, but this is definitely one of them for me. This one too, where Ichimonji says that the new mask feels nice and lacks the hungry feel of the previous mask, that it feels kind. I wonder why. I love this movie, not just because it's a serious and gritty take on the beloved franchise, or because it's written by while still being a little compact. It has the funny flipping karate bug along with genuinely heartstring tugging scenes, because when I watch Hongo take his mask off and see how terrified he is, I sympathize with him. When I watch Ruriko die, I missed her, and when I watch Ichimonji call out for Hongo refusing to believe he's gone for just a second, I want to pat his head and tell him something cliche like he's not truly gone, or Hongo would want you to move forward. And this scene touches me, like I'ma touch you if you don't hit that like button. The movie ends with their bond fully built. They're one in a way now. Hayato Ichimonji, the loner who secretly wants compassion, wearing a mask that holds the very soul of the kind-hearted Hongo Takashi. Let's go, Hongo. We're not alone anymore. It's you and me.
Do you think tomorrow will bring sun or rain? Which one of these will show? I can't say goodbye to yesterday, my friend. I keep holding on till the end. Out of the darkness, there is no other way.
Hey there, I honestly don't know why I made this video. I'm not even confident it'll get views, but I was inspired by other YouTubers who would talk about characters or shows in a slower tone. Let me know if this content is like interesting at all, because it's short and I can get it out when I'm working on other things. If I said something stupid or criminally inaccurate, or you just hate my speculations, let me know in the comment section below. Thank you for watching. This is like 5 to 6 minutes you won't be getting back, so thanks for wasting it on me. Have a nice time zone. Bye.